Mr. Ron English, who has contributed much in the area of technology at St. Andrews, is leaving to take on a permanent position at Seneca. Ron was a driving force behind SEXI, our entry in the National Robotics Competition. His legacy will be the school's ongoing commitment to this program. Best of luck, Ron. Mr. Jeff McGee is taking a well-deserved one-year leave of absence after teaching music at SAC for 6 years. He has some exciting travel plans, which is making his colleagues on the faculty very envious. Have a safe and enjoyable trip, Jeff, and we'll see you in September 2002. Ms. Nina Ledeca retires today from the dining room staff after 22 years. Her friendly nature and love of the school contributed to her popularity with the boys. We hope we'll have a chance to say goodbye to Nina later. Thank you, Nina. Mrs. Helen Younder is leaving the health center after 16 years as assistant nurse. She will be accompanying her husband Joe, who many of you know, to Italy, where he will teach English at the Canadian College, Italy. Thank you, Helen, for your dedication to the health of our students, and best of luck. The health center is losing another assistant nurse this year. Mary Lee Hunter has decided to enter community nursing on a full-time basis. The very best wishes to her as well. Finally, Ann Osmond retired as school secretary in March of this year after 15 years with St. Andrews. Ann will be assisting her husband in the startup of a new business, and she has been succeeded by Mrs. Wendy Muratoff. Next year, we will be welcoming 8 new faculty members to St. Andrews to not only replace those who are leaving, but also to keep classes small while the school manages the temporary larger enrollment due to the double cohort. Other faculty and staff changes include the appointments of Ms. Lisa Percherno as head of modern languages, Mr. Mark Jones as head of the science department, Ms. Sandy Chason, formerly of Havergal, as head of music, Mr. David Galida as housemaster of McDonald House, Mr. Michelle Cameron as housemaster of Ramsey House, Mr. David Stewart as upper school history teacher, and as I mentioned, Mrs. Wendy Muratoff as school secretary. I'm sure you will join me in offering congratulations to 3 members of our faculty who have reached their 25th anniversary today. John Clements, Aubrey Foy, and Steve Treasure. Congratulations. Finally, to this splendid graduating class of 2001, I leave this final message. As you leave today from this special place, remember the words of a character in George Bernard Shaw's epic novel, Man and Superman. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die, for the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle to me. It is a sort of splendid torch which I have got hold of for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations. Best of luck to all of you. Now, on to the presentation of prizes and awards. Special programs listing all the prizes and winners will be available after the ceremony. The awards and prizes will be announced by Mr. Gregory Dominato, Director of Administration, Ms. Angela Phillips, Director of the Upper School and Dean of Academic Studies, and Mr. John Walden, Assistant Headmaster in charge of Student Life. Mr. Dominato will begin by announcing the honors medals and prizes for grades 9, 10, and 11.
Theatre Prize for expertise and dedication, or as a member of the stage management team, Dustin McGee. Would Mr. Bruce Somerville, along
Mr. Staunton, Mr. Armstrong, members of the Board of Governors, administration, faculty, honored guests, parents, family, friends, Andreans, and most of all, my fellow graduates. It is a great honor for me to speak to you today on behalf of the graduating class of 2001. Mr. Armstrong alluded to St. Andrews as a race. St. Andrews is indeed a journey filled with many hills and valleys, challenges and achievements. And I'm happy to report all of our graduates have made it. As you've already heard today, we are a diverse group of young men who have achieved great things here and who are ready to move on to new and more widespread challenges. We would not be here today if it were not for many of you. Thank you to Mr. Staunton and the administration for all your guidance and support you have given us over your careers at St. Andrews. Thank you to the teachers who have influenced us in so many ways and have made us the men we are today. From Mr. Schooler's drama classes to Mr. Ray's debating meetings, to our coaches who are always our biggest fans, and to all the teachers who over the years instilled in us the desire to learn, we will forever be indebted. Thanks to Mrs. Mix, Mr. Errol, and Mr. Swan in the guidance office for helping us make the next step to higher education. And to all those who wrote the many letters of recommendation, your help will never be forgotten. Thank you to Mike Hillock, Ann Burden, and all the kitchen staff for satisfying our appetites with great food and good memories over the years at SAC. And most important, a very special thank you to the people who are the main reason we are here today. That is, to our parents and families who made it all possible for us to attend this fine institution and provided guidance and compassion to us along the journey. To those who still have time left in their careers at St. Andrews, that's you, all those dozing off 9 to 12. St. Andrews College is a journey that you only know the full rewards of years after you leave the gates for the last time as a student. To be an Andrean is something more than to go to St. Andrews, to play on the sports teams, or to sing in the school musical. St. Andrews is much more than the gates, the Towers Library, or this very quad. St. Andrews is the community of individuals that inhabit this special place. When you put on a SAC jersey, in whatever sport or competition it may be, you are playing for something greater than yourself and your teammates. You are playing for your fellow students. You are playing for all those who have played their hearts out in years past, who have moved on, but will never forget what it was like to play for St. Andrews. Your journey at St. Andrews is full of opportunities to branch out, experienced new things, from new sports to debating, canoeing, music, and most of all, creating friendships with students from all over the world. However, with every opportunity, there is a choice to be made. And as Thomas Edison once said, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. This is your time to try everything you can, because you will not have time to do this later. When else are you going to have an opportunity to learn how to play the bagpipes, snare drum, scuba dive, shoot a rifle, act out Shakespeare, do the technical support for a drama production? St. Andrews gives you this opportunity. And once you leave this place, you will seldom, if ever, have another chance at it. I remember, as my childhood idol, Wayne Gretzky, put it, every shot not taken is a goal not scored. As in any journey, there are rules one has to live by. And the St. Andrews journey is no different. A wise man once said, "Wisdom is knowing which path to take. Integrity is taking that path." As you already know, our theme for the year was integrity. And I'd like to commend you, my fellow Andrians, for a great job you have done in upholding the theme of integrity in all your activities this year. However, for those of you who are still on a part of your journey, you are not finished. You have many more choices to make. I encourage you all to take the opportunity that St. Andrews gives you and follow the path of integrity for the rest of your journey at St. Andrews. To those parents whose boys still have time left on their journey at St. Andrews, I speak the words of Robert Cushing on behalf of your sons when I say, "If I advance, follow me. If I stop, push me. If I fall, inspire me." If your son is not yet immersed in the St. Andrews community, I challenge you to encourage him to get the most out of his time left here. I would now like to address my fellow graduates. We entered the gates of St. Andrews for the last time today as students. And we leave the gates after our graduation dinner tonight. It will be the first time as old boys. May you look back on your St. Andrews career with as much pleasure as you look forward to your future. Graduating from St. Andrews is bittersweet, for you will never again compete against Upper Canada College. Wear a scarlet red tunic, wake up for Saturday morning chapel, or sing the Dorset Carol at the Christmas Carol service. However, as we go our separate ways, St. Andrews will be forever embedded in our hearts, and we will leave this place knowing that the late night study sessions, hard work in sports practices, and leisure time lost were worth the sacrifice, because this place leaves us with so much more. As a class, we have had our ups and downs along the journey. For the most part, we are the same class we were in grade 10, save a few key additions over the years. Just to recall a few interesting things that I remember from our grade over the years would be Marsha's great hair, same way since grade 9, always spiked for all the pictures. Foley's reggae freestyling at every coffee house I can remember. Jack, the Joe Popes, funny, but sometimes more confusing than funny comments. The Manny Gats claims at being student athletes. Nyan's odo-do-do-dos at the end of every one of his emails. Benj's great job as honorary head prefect for the day. And Marty's love for the administration's rules and procedures. Life was certainly interesting with all the characters in the class of 2001. The class has accomplished many great things along our journey at St. Andrews. And as Vincent van Gogh said, great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together. I would like to take a moment to recognize my fellow classmates for some of their achievements over the St. Andrews careers. The creation of the Christian Fellowship Program by the Museoe brothers. The revival of community service under the leadership of Gord Burkett and Paul Perry. 5 OFSA badminton gold medals by Sammy Lamb. Numerous OFSA swim medals by Peter Vogel. Warren Lowe in continuing Sack's tradition of winning the Shakespeare on the Platform event. James Allen's leadership and passion for Sack's first ever robotics team. All the playwrights who wrote and directed their plays in the Focus Festival. Chris Chewy's Rensselaer Medal Scholarship for first overall ranking in math and science competitions. And what do you like is the best, including Mr. Roy, the first CISAA hockey championship in 18 years. Diversity, and most of all, a passion for this wonderful institution. In closing, the 75 men you see before you here started at St. Andrews as boys. They have acquitted themselves like men in all aspects of the life and have completed a successful journey as Andrians. Again, a sincere thank you to all of you here today who have helped us with our journey from boys to men at St. Andrews. Some parting words of advice to those of you who still have time left on your journey at St. Andrews. Seize as many opportunities as you can and make the most of them. And lastly, to my fellow graduates of the class of 2001, I am proud to have made the journey at St. Andrews with you, and I wish you all the best in your future journeys, wherever they may lead. Thank you.
Michael, thank you for that message.
Next year, he'll be at Wilfrid Laurier in their business administration program. John Lyons, a lifetime honor.